Sure, you guys know who Tucker Carlson is. Often like to characterize him as the online the manifestation of the online right wing on mainstream media. Now, he's of course a host over on Fox News. He has had a history of being a conservative commentator on other networks as well. And as you guys also know, Donald Trump approved strikes in Syria in coordination with both France and the UK. And what we're going to be looking at here is something that Tucker says that I actually agree with.
Good evening and welcome to Tucker Carlson Tonight. Leaders on both sides of the aisle in Congress, in the media, in our intelligence services, in virtually every overfunded think tank in Washington, have suddenly aligned tonight on a single point of agreement. America must go to war in Syria immediately. Bashar al-Assad cannot continue to lead that country. He must be overthrown. Assad is an evil man, they tell us. His latest crime is a chlorine gas attack carried out over the weekend by his forces against a rebel-held suburb of Damascus. Assad's poison gas suffocated children. Pictures of the aftermath of that are all over the internet, and they are horrifying. Assad is a monster. That's the official story. Almost everyone in power claims to believe it. The push to war in Syria, by the way, has united politicians from both sides. Lindsey Graham and Howard Dean typically agree on very little. Not much at all. But today they are both calling for war in Syria. Graham is demanding massive attacks on the Syrian military. Dean is going even further than that. On Twitter, he called the president, quote, a wimp for merely sending thousands of troops and launching tons of bombs at Syria. That's not enough for Howard Dean, who, as you may remember, once ran for president as the peace candidate. Tonight, he wants total war in Syria. Television pundits, of course, strongly agree. This morning, the foreign policy team, let's say he did do it. Would that be worth starting a new war over? Overthrowing Assad's regime in Syria would result in chaos. Many thousands would die. In fact, we might likely see the genocide of one of the last remaining Christian communities in the Middle East, and we ought to care about that. Some of the dead, of course, would be American servicemen. A new war would cost us tens of billions of dollars, maybe hundreds of billions. Would it make America safer? Would it make the region more stable? Let's see. How exactly did regime change work in Iraq and Libya? Doesn't matter, say our moral leaders on CNN and everywhere else. Atrocities like this cannot be tolerated. Okay, but let's be real. We do tolerate atrocities like this all the time. For example, there's a devastating famine killing children in Yemen right now. The Saudis are causing that famine. Should we drop tomahawks on Riyadh in response? Not until it's on YouTube, apparently. When you conduct foreign policy by viral video, pictures are essential.
So now I've gone into detail on the issue of the Trump attack on Syria, but Tucker Carlson and Tommy Lahren and Alex Jones actually all coming out in opposition to the attack is really kind of shocking for a lot of people, and it's a rare area and a rare time in which both, progressives who are actual progressives agree with people like Tucker Carlson, because they understand that regime change doesn't work. Now, Tucker Carlson also recently did like an actual talk with a debate, really was, with John Bolton, the current national security advisor for Donald Trump, and they went at it over the idea of regime change and more wars, which was very interesting. So this is one of the rare times in which I'm going to say that I actually agree with Tucker Carlson, because I think that not only is this so dangerous that it could literally lead us up to a World War III scenario, but even if you're somebody who says that they support interventionism, there's no way that you could try and tell me, and I've gone in depth about this already, by the way, is that there's no way that you could possibly tell me that you trust Donald Trump, the host of The Apprentice, the reality TV star, the guy born with the spoon, silver spoon in his mouth, is the person who can or should lead the United States in a situation in which it is, possibly World War III. And again, remember, the attack was in coordination with France and the UK. And then you have now Russia and Syria, which is really making this a very dangerous situation.